It's the planting season across the Midwest, and today we're going to take you out here to the field to show you what's involved when farmers plant their crops in the spring.
Hello, my fourth grade farmers. This is the last video that we're going to do for the school year. It's a little bit backwards in the fact that we started with harvest, where that's kind of the ending point of the growing season, and now we're showing you how we plant the corn. But this is the beginning. This is where it all starts. This is where we put the seed in the ground and wait for Mother Nature to help us out and grow a corn plant.
You have to do a lot of things before you actually even plant the corn. What do you do to get the ground ready and put inputs on before you actually plant the corn?
So after the winter, we wait for the ground to thaw out, and once the ground is fit, we first go out and do some tillage. And this makes for the first initial pass of making a good firm seed bed for the seed to grow in. Once we've done an initial tillage pass, we need to put some fertilizer down because the seed corn needs some food to grow. So we will, either with the manure that we use or with commercial fertilizer like you would put on your lawn in town, we fertilize the ground.
How many seeds do you plant?
We plant 34,000 seeds per acre, and an acre is about the size of a football field. And in one bag of seed corn, there's 80,000 seeds per bag, and each bag costs about $325. So if you do the math, each bag will plant about 2.3 acres of corn. When we're planting seeds in the ground, the seed is placed about 2 inches deep. So it's in the soil, and typically it's in some moisture, and that way it will germinate.
How big of a planter do you have, and how many acres can you plant in a day?
The planter that I have is 12 rows that are 30 inches apart. So the total width of my planter is 30 feet. In a good day, we can plant 150 acres. So in 7 to 10 days is about what it takes us to plant our corn crop.
You have Autosteer in your tractor. Why do you have that?
Autosteer is one of the things that we decided to put in our tractors, and what it does is it steers the tractor through satellites and a computer in the tractor, which makes it so that I don't have to drive the tractor. You might think this sounds like I'm being just a little bit lazy, but what it does, there's lots of things that GPS and Autosteer do for farming. One thing is every pass that I make is the same distance apart. So in other words, I'm utilizing every inch of the soil that I have to produce a crop, versus having maybe some areas where it's too wide or too narrow, because corn likes to have its own space. And if it gets too close together, the yield goes down because it has too much competition within the row for it to grow appropriately.
How much money does it take you to plant a crop?
Between fertilizer, herbicide, the seed corn, we have about $4 per bushel into raising a crop. At the moment, corn is only worth $3.50, so the crop that I'm putting in this year, I'm losing 50 cents a bushel already on it. So somewhere in the neighborhood of $700 to $800 an acre to put the crop in, and that includes some rent in there. You might think that putting the corn in the ground and losing money on it is probably not such a fun prospect, but the fact that when the corn does come out of the ground, you see what kind of stand that you have. It's a whole nurturing thing. You have the opportunity to see something grow and take it from one kernel that's in the bag of seed corn, which as it grows turns into an ear of corn that has several hundred kernels of corn on it. So the rewards are just taking care of something and seeing it come to harvest time so that you can see how good of a crop that you got.